When it comes to variable names in your program, you give the variable name which is related to the problem. So rather than giving the variable names as X or A or B, some random name to a variable, you give a name to a variable that helps you understand what type of a variable it is. For example, in your program at different points of your computation, you are updating the salary. Now it is better to keep the variable name as salary itself, or something like employee salary or salary. So name which is which gives you an idea, means give such a name to a variable which gives you an idea about the variable. Okay. Number 1 point. Similarly, in case of functions, when you are defining a function will have some name. So when you give a name to a function, that name should itself be descriptive of the work of the function. Okay. All variables must be declared before they are used. So the syntax of declaration of variable is simply type name, okay, type name dash dash so and so on. Okay, basically type name is the data type. This is the list of variables with the data type, with the same data type. So this declaration is also one of the statement. Okay, what is this data type? Okay, we will look at in a minute, but this is about the declaration of a function, declaration of variable. Okay, this is how you declare a variable. This is called declaration of a variable. Declaration of variable. Once you declare a variable, then only you can use that variable. Okay, like I have given you an example. Maybe your computer program has something got to do with the salaries, right? So you cannot just directly assume that okay, this is your salary, and then you are doing your whatever operation you want to do on this salary, you can do it. No, before that you have to tell what is this salary, means what is this salary. So first of all, to ensure that this salary is actually a variable, so this is what is called as declaring a variable. Declaring a variable means specifying what is the data type of this variable, meaning this salary is going to store what type of values. Okay, of course this salary is a variable, means that it is a name given to a location in the memory. But this, when you declare a variable, you declare it like int sal. This int sal means this int is the data type. Here. And when you write int sal, it means that this salary is a variable that will hold the integer value. The name given to this memory location is sal. When you declare this sal as int, it means it is going to store, or your program will always be assigning to this sal a integer number, and only integer will be stored here. Then because your program is going to assign to sal or update to cell always the integer number. Okay, or data types helps you to first of all classify what type of a variable it is. So for example, in this case cell is a integer variable. Okay, similarly in C programming language there are four basic data types. These are the basic data types in C: character, integer, float and double. This is a character, or this is a character, this is another character. Okay, and let me tell you something. These data types, the size of the data types are machine dependent. Okay, but generally mostly character is only a single byte. Okay, and it is capable of holding one character in the local character set. One character in the local character set. Now there is new term that has come about, which is character set. Okay, keep it in mind. I will discuss it in a short while in this video only. Character set. Okay, what is an integer? It is simply you know what an integer is. So typically reflecting the natural size of integers on the host machine. As I said, the size of these data types depends upon the machine to machine. It is machine dependent. But you can think about generally it is 16 bits or 2 byte. Why I am saying so? Because from my distant memory I can think about the integer maximum value to be something like 32767. Okay, obviously the size of float is got to be less than the size of double, right? So generally speaking, the size of character is less than size of integer. Character is of single byte, integer is of 2 byte, float is of 4 bytes, means 32 bits, and double is of, the size of double is 8 bytes, which is basically 64 bits. Once a variable is declared, means you know the name of the variable and what type of data it will store in the memory. Okay, when you declare a variable, it makes sure about the size of the memory location that it has to reserve for this variable. Okay, so for example, for int cell, it will reserve, for int cell it will reserve 2 bytes. If this one word, if this one location is 1 byte, let's suppose, then it will reserve basically 2 bytes for cell only. So these 2 bytes are reserved for this salary operation. Okay, it suits more if you have double as a salary, right? I mean, integer value means for salary it is better to give a float to a salary or float to a salary, because double will take too much space. Definitely salary is not going to, means within the float, the range of data that a float variable can hold, within that range the salary will come. Okay, let's see what is character set. What is character set? So the character set is basically the set of characters that is used in C. Set of characters that are used in C. For example, here I used the word sal for declaring a variable. Okay, I could have used salary, I could have used int salary. Okay, I could have used int intern salary. Okay, I could simply have used int x. All of these is valid variable name. this S, this A, this L, these are the characters. SALARY, these are the characters. So in order to make a word in C programming language, okay, the characters that I am going to use belongs to the character set of this C programming language. Means whatever the characters are there in that character set, only using those characters I am supposed to make a word in my program. Okay, so right now I am giving a name to a variable. So giving a name to a variable, so the characters that I am going to use will be from those character set only. And the character set of C programming language basically is of alphabets, means you can use the alphabets, uppercase, lowercase, you can use digits, you can use white spaces. In the naming of a variable you cannot use white spaces. I am talking about what is there in the character set. So in the character set of C programming language, you have means alphabets are there, lowercase, uppercase, digits are there, and white spaces are there. White space like new line, tab, these things. Okay. When it comes to the naming convention of variable, the variable names, it cannot start with a digit. Okay. If you write int 1 underscore salary, then this is not allowed. This is not allowed. You cannot have a variable name with starting with a digit. So this underscore is a special character, right? Character set in C is alphabets, it is digits, special characters. Yes, special characters like less than symbol, greater than symbol, underscore, plus symbol, multiplication symbol, right? These things. Dollar, exclamation mark, percentage. So these are the special characters. And white spaces. White spaces. Okay, I am writing white spaces in a character set. It is because you have a characters for these white spaces. There are some characters for these white spaces, like this is a new line character, this is a tab. These are single characters. Okay, this new line character or tabs, these are single character. What happens is, when you have this new line character, when this is printed, it advances the output to the left margin of the next line. Okay, similarly, you know what a tab is. But this is a single character. This is a single character. Okay. While naming these variables, this can be the valid name of a variable. This is valid name of a integer variable, or simply a variable. This is a valid name for a variable, and this is not a valid name for a variable. When you are naming a variable, and later on when you will name a function, essentially what you are doing is basically you are just giving a word, and that word is served as the name for the variable, and word is served as the name for the function. Now, is that a valid word or not? Means, is that a valid word for a variable? Can a variable have such type of words? That's a question. So variable cannot have a word like 1 underscore salary. Similarly, a variable cannot be a keyword. This is another term that comes about. A variable you cannot have keyword as a variable. You cannot have keywords as a variable. You cannot have keywords as a variable. What is a keyword? Keywords are some reserved words. Some reserved words. Okay, some reserved words. Like in the very introductory video, I have shown you a snippet of this code. So in this code, if you look at this if, this is a keyword. Okay, so you cannot name any variable as if. This else is a keyword. You cannot name any variable as else. So I guess in C programming language there are 32 such keywords. Means these 32 words are reserved. They serve a purpose. They serve some purpose in C programming language. Like for example, if else, they help us in writing codes in case of decision making situations. Okay, before a variable is used, it has to be declared. In a similar manner, before you call any function, it has to be declared. A function has to be declared before you call a function. It might be defined below the calling function, but it must be declared before calling it. So we will look at the function declaration and function definition in the next video. Okay, one thing more I want to cover before we end this video is about the character set. So like I told you that whatever a word that you are making up in a C programming language, if those words must be from the combination of characters that are in the character set of C programming language, right? Okay, number 1 point. Number 2 point is, we know that the computer stores only 0 and 1 in a memory. At any location the data is stored as 0 and 1. Okay, so there are two standards, which is ASCII is one of them and Unicode. There are two standards. ASCII is something called as a American standard something, and Unicode. How anything is stored in your memory is for every character is mapped to a number. Okay, then whatever the binary equivalent of that number is actually stored in the memory. Okay, means let's say you have a character A. Okay, this is mapped to some number, which is 65. Actually A is mapped to 65, and in the memory what is stored is the binary equivalent of 65. There is a variable called as character variable, which is char C. Let's say this is one of the variable char C, and then you assign A to this. Let's say this is the location where C is stored. That what is stored in this location is 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 1. Okay, let me summarize the content of this video. First, in this video we have seen the declaration of variable. Okay, what is the declaration of variable? Data type and variable name. Data type and variable name. That's it. This is how you declare a variable. You know, for the same data types you can declare a list of variables. You can declare a list of variables with same data type in a single statement. Okay, this data type of a variable will decide the size of the memory that will be reserved for this variable. Okay, size of memory that will be reserved for this variable. Okay, and types of operations that can be performed on this variable. For example, in case of salary, because salary is an integer variable, with numbers you can add numbers, you can multiply numbers, you can subtract numbers, or you can divide numbers, not by 0. If divided by 0, it will give some error, division by 0 type of error. So with numbers you can perform addition, you can perform subtraction, you can perform multiplication, division, right? So when you declare a variable as integer or integer variable, for the integer variable these operations can be performed. Okay, one topic is left, which is identifiers. Okay, the names that you can give to different elements of a program. Okay, the words that are used for variable name or function name. So the first word, the first character in identifier has to be an alphabet or an underscore. It cannot be a digit. So identifier is a name, basically what is the name that you give to different elements of programming language. Means the valid words that you can give, those are called identifiers. Thank you very much.